And since people are dragging me for supposedly being on the list, which is no fault of mine, by the way, now I'm going to bring up the fact.
It looks like Whoopi Goldberg is fighting dirty, because after getting suspended from The View and getting dragged for filth over her name popping up in the Jeffrey Epstein files, Whoopi did not apologize and she did not lawyer up. Instead, she flipped the entire table. Now she's claiming that Beyoncé was not just in the mix, but that she was allegedly running it, blackmailing celebrities, controlling narratives, and sitting on material that could end careers overnight. And here's the part that makes this even more shocking. Whoopi says she has proof. Not rumors. Not speculation. Not vibes. But tapes. Suddenly, all those weird industry moments hit different. The award show speeches that felt a little too emotional, the careers that mysteriously disappeared, the lawsuits that vanished in less than 48 hours. Artists who were supposedly flopping on paper but somehow kept going even when the numbers never made sense. And if that wasn't messy enough, this allegedly connects names already involved in the Epstein scandal, with whispers now tying back to Diddy as well. So the question is Whoopi Goldberg exposing a hidden power structure in Hollywood, or is she trying to distract us from her own name appearing in the Epstein files? Let's break it down. It looks like Whoopi did not come to play. She's determined to take everybody down with her. She was suspended from her job on The View after being name-dropped in the Epstein files. What made things messier is that not long before this, she and the other hosts on The View had a lot to say about the people on the Epstein list, and even dared the DOJ to release the full redacted list.
Bottom line is this: release the damn files and release them now. Release everything.
If this does not implicate Donald Trump, why wouldn't you say release everything? They absolutely have to show us what they're all hiding. If there's nothing to hide, release it all.
But all of that information is out there. Why not just put it to rest and say, release the list?
Because, they should just say, listen, this is what it is.
Then suddenly, in the very next episode, Whoopi switched up and randomly denied that she was in the files at all. According to her, people were trying to rewrite the narrative and make it seem like she was besties with Epstein. For some reason, she specifically denied being his girlfriend, which didn't even make sense at the time.
There was a fake list.
Yeah.
And I'm on it.
So you were on the island?
I was, apparently, I don't know. They said I was on the island. They said, I'm like, I don't go anywhere.
If the story was about a bus,
maybe, but it's like, so I'm just going to say, and there's been a lot of stuff recently. I don't know what I've done to anybody, but apparently there are a lot of these kind of sites that are, what do you call them? They're
Parody or
they're satire sites.
Oh.
But people don't realize that they can be harmful.
That was enough to make fans start digging. And surprise, her name really was in the files. Suddenly, her denial made sense. It looked like damage control before people could connect the dots. In one document, Whoopi was asking to use Epstein's plane to fly from the US to Monaco. The company handling her travel didn't go the usual charter route and instead arranged a private jet. Apparently, earlier plans fell through, and Epstein's plane became the only option. That explanation didn't sit right with fans. Hollywood has no shortage of private jets, so why Epstein's, especially in 2013, years after he'd already been charged in 2006 with disturbing allegations involving children? Many people in Hollywood knew, but it didn't seem to matter. Whoopi later went on The View to defend herself, claiming people were taking things out of context because she never actually took the flight.
Trying to turn me into, I wasn't his girlfriend. I wasn't his friend.
You were too old for him.
I was not only too old, but it was at a time, where this is just not, you used to have facts before you said stuff.
But Trump is on the list 38,000 times.
Well, I can't speak to him, but I'm speaking about me because I'm getting dragged. People actually believe that I was with him. It's like, honey, come on.
That defense didn't help much. Not only was she suspended, and possibly facing termination, but she was also getting dragged non-stop on social media. So now, she's fighting back. And she's fighting dirty. Instead of just clearing her name, she's throwing someone else under the bus, allegedly Beyoncé. Strategically, it's smart. Beyoncé is one of the biggest names in Hollywood. By shifting attention to her alleged ties to Epstein, Whoopi takes the spotlight off herself. But it doesn't stop there. According to Whoopi, Beyoncé wasn't just friends with Epstein, she was allegedly a handler. There's been a long-standing narrative that Jay-Z controls Beyoncé and that she's just an innocent bystander. Whoopi says that's nonsense. She claims Beyoncé allegedly blackmailed celebrities listed in the Epstein files. Fans point out how celebrities seem to worship Beyoncé, constantly praising her, apologizing to her, even when they beat her for awards. Like when Adele won a Grammy and turned her entire speech into praise for Beyoncé.
I accept this award, and I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful and gracious, but my artist of my life is Beyoncé, and this album for me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental. Beyoncé, it was so monumental.
Some fans said those tears didn't look like joy, they looked like fear. Insiders have claimed for years that respect for Beyoncé is less about admiration and more about intimidation. People also brought up how a former bodyguard once accused Beyoncé of ending Carrie Hilson's career.
Beyoncé, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. How you step on anybody to stay on the top.
That bodyguard later passed away under mysterious circumstances after sharing darker allegations about Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Now Whoopi is saying it goes even deeper. Allegedly, Beyoncé has tapes on celebrities involved and uses them to keep people in line. She's also allegedly connected to names on the Diddy list. When Beyoncé was once named in a lawsuit, her name disappeared in less than 2 business days. That lawsuit was filed by Joseph Manzaro, who claimed he was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually maimed as part of an organized criminal enterprise. He alleged that in April 2015, he lost consciousness after touching a greasy substance on his front door. When he woke up, he was allegedly taken to another house for a freak-off event linked to Diddy. According to the lawsuit, Jay-Z and Beyoncé Knowles Carter were present. Beyoncé allegedly asked, "What's this? Why is this half-naked white man standing here with a pea mask?" Whoopi now claims Beyoncé has been running things behind the scenes for years. She also alleges that Beyoncé's businesses are fronts for laundering money obtained through blackmail. Fans point to brands like House of Duran, Ivy Park, and the Adidas partnership. Ivy Park reportedly lost over $200 million, according to Wall Street Journal, yet continued operating despite poor sales and massive losses with Adidas.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public. Oh, I can't explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really?
Series of the video. Okay. You can verify it. Yeah, that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was graphic in nature.
Whoopi's boldest claim yet is that she has a tape proving Beyoncé's involvement. This ties back to attorney Ariel Mitchell-Kidd, who once said a client contacted her about selling a tape featuring a top celebrity who didn't know they were being filmed. Rumors say Whoopi bought that tape as collateral, to protect herself. But now, she may be using it to throw Beyoncé under the bus and distract from her own Epstein ties. If any of this is true, it's nasty work. And according to insiders, Whoopi isn't done yet. Something tells us this is only going to get messier.